Hey, this is Andrew Ford. In this video, I'm going to show you how to look up what your magic cards are worth. So you can see here I pulled out some of the magic cards from my collection, and what I want to show you is just how to look them up, how to figure out what set they're from, what year they're made, and how to type them into Mavin and see what they're actually worth. So magic cards are a little bit difficult to look up because they don't always print a number or something on them that uniquely identifies them. You know, if we look through these magic cards here, and this is just a sample of a bunch of different cards from different sets. And you can see they have this little, it's called a set symbol or expansion symbol. And this symbol right here tells you what set it came from. So you can see here, this is 6, 7, 8. You see the numbers, the different icons, 9, 10. These are all the major, sets or releases. And then there's expansion symbols. So, each symbol represents a different expansion set. You can see there's a bunch of different ones, and really that uniquely identifies the set that it came from. The other thing you want to look at when you're looking at magic cards is you want to look for the copyright date at the bottom. Now, some of the real early cards, they don't have a copyright date at the bottom. It just says, the illustrator, copyright, and the name of the illustrator, but there's no date. So it gets a little tricky to look these kind of up, but there is a way to tell which ones are which. Now, you can see these cards look almost identical, but this one has a 1995 copyright. So this one is actually from the 4th edition. This one is actually from a revised edition. This is one of the earlier cards. And some of the earliest cards, they have the white border, whereas the newer ones have the black border. So that's a good way to kind of get an idea if you're dealing with older or newer cards. For example, if I get a box of cards like this, these are a bunch of magic cards here. I can kind of look through here and I can kind of see these are a lot of black borders, and then right here the color changes. So if I pull these out, you can see these are older magic cards. They don't have the copyright date at the bottom. This one has a 95. You can see they have the white border, and they tend to be older cards. So if I pick up a box of cards, I look for those for the white color, and I kind of pull those out first and take a look at them. Okay, so with that being said, let me tell you about the exception. The most valuable magic cards tend to be the alpha and beta versions. These are the first versions of magic cards that were released, and they have a black border. So that's the exception to the rule. Now, you can see this is actually a beta card, and the reason I know that is alphas and betas have the black border all the way around them. They don't have the copyright date, they don't have the set symbol, but the alphas have a much more rounded corner compared to the beta. So this has a normal rounded corner, so I know that this is a beta. Okay. So the other thing I want to show you, one last thing, are foil cards. Now foil cards are a little bit different than a normal card. They kind of have a metallic shimmer to them. So if you look at them, you can kind of see them. Let's see if I can get one to shimmer. You can kind of see down there. See how it shimmers? These are called foils. And the other thing I want to point out on this is the set symbol. See how they have different colors? This one's red. Let's see, this one's kind of a gold color. This one's black, and this one's silver. They each represent how rare the card is. So, for example, let's see where this red one is. The red one is mythic rare. These are the most rare. And then after mythic rare comes gold, which is rare. After that is silver, which is uncommon. And then black, which is common. Now, that doesn't always mean that the mythic rares are worth more than a common card. It really depends on the playability of the card, but it's kind of a general rule that, if you can find the mythic rares and pull those out and look them up, they might be worth more than the common cards. So that's a really quick overview of how to identify the card. So now let's take a card and look up what it's worth. So you can see here, I've got a card and it's called Demonic Tutor. You can see down here, there's no copyright date and there's no symbol. So I know I'm dealing with an early card, but I don't exactly know what set it's from. So let's go over to Mavin and see if we can look up what this is worth. Okay, so now we're at Mavin.io and we want to look up what this Demonic Tutor is worth. So if I go to the search box and I just type in Demonic Tutor, I'm going to get a lot of results, and this card may have been printed over many different generations, many different sets or editions. So really what I need to do is I need to narrow down what edition this card came from. So I'm going to go over to cardmaven.com, and we have an article called Magic Card Set Symbols. And you can go to this article and we have this handy table in here, and we can look up the card based on the symbol or the copyright date. Now, like I said, this is an early card, so it doesn't have a copyright date and it doesn't have a set symbol. So I'm going to type in 1993. That's the first year that Magic cards were printed. And I can see in here, I know alphas and betas have a black border. It could be unlimited edition. It has a white border and it says beveled border. And if I look at my card, it just has a line, a black line that goes around it with no bevel. So I know it's not an unlimited edition. So let's go to the next year, 1994. And if I look in this, the only one without a set symbol is the revised edition. It's got no copyright date, it's got a flat line border, and it has faded colors. Mine definitely has those faded colors, so I know that this is a revised edition. So let's go back over to Mavin.io and let's add in the word revised. Doing this will kind of narrow it down to just the revised demonic tutors. And you can see here it came back with an average price of $17.08. It found 300 cards sold. And this average price is based on all the results that it found. So what we want to do next is we want to go through this list and pick a few cards that are exactly like ours. So if ours was in really good shape, we'd want to pick ones that are in really good shape. So let's click on a few of these and kind of get an idea of what we're looking at here. This one looks similar to ours. It's got a punch. Let's see. Here's another one. So what you want to do is you want to just look through this list and pick a few that are like yours. So here's one, let's say, and here's another one. I'm going really fast, but let's pretend we open these up and we take a look at them and we determine that these are all exactly like our card. And what it did is it adjusted the price based on the comparables that we chose. So if I click on that green box, you can kind of see these are the ones I chose. Here's my low, here's my high, here's my average price. And so that's a really quick way of how you get an idea of what your Magic cards are worth using Mavin.io. To look up what your Magic cards are worth, head over to Mavin.io. If you want to look at that table where you can look up your Magic cards by the copyright year or the set symbol, head over to CardMavin.com. Until next time, it's Andrew Ford.